Erica, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you my October TBR. Now I'm not usually a seasonal reader, but one thing that I am usually in the mood for in October is paranormal fantasy. So this month, my TBR is mostly going to consist of YA paranormal fantasy. Although I'm not really sure which paranormal fantasies to read, so I wanted to give myself lots of options. I also wanted to read some just ordinary YA fantasy. The first book I wanted to read is After We Poe by Todd. This is the third book in a new adult romance series. This series is going to be the odd one out this month, since I'm actually in the middle of reading this series right now. This series basically follows the relationship between Hardin Scott and Tessa. Tessa is a freshman in college. She's a really relatable girl. She's academic-minded, and she's not really social. She's lived a good life, she has a good relationship with her mom, and she even has a boyfriend named Noah back home, finishing his last year in high school. However, Tessa is a little too sheltered and naive when it comes to the social life of college. Her life changes the day she meets Hardin Scott. Tessa has a roommate named Steph, and Steph drags her to this party at a frat house. Hardin is known for being a playboy in college, and he's even rude to Tessa when they first meet. Tessa and Hardin have a relationship with each other, and this series follows their angsty romance. I've actually already read this book, so you'll hear of my thoughts on this book in my October wrap-up. Next, I want to read After Ever Happy. This is the final book in the After series by Todd. The next book I want to read is Before by Todd. This is sort of a companion book to the main series, but it takes place before Hardin met Tessa. We also get to see the different points of views from some of the other secondary characters in this series, from before, during, and after the events of the original After series novels. I'm really looking forward to reading this before novel, since I want to learn more about some of these secondary characters, so hopefully this book will provide that. The next book I want to read in October is Fracture by Miranda. This is the first book in a YA paranormal fantasy duology. When Delaney was rescued from a lake by her best friend, her heart stopped beating, but somehow she survived. Now Delaney feels strange sensations. She has some strange abilities that she didn't before. Everyone wants Delaney to be just fine, but she knows she's not normal. Also, Delaney encounters this boy named Troy Varga, who's recently woken up from a coma with these strange abilities. Delaney isn't sure if her strange abilities are predicting death or causing it, and she's not really sure if her abilities are a gift or something that's terribly frightening. The premise of this book does sound interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I like this duology. The next book I want to read is Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is the first book in a YA paranormal fantasy trilogy. I had this book on my TBR last month, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to read the full Red Queen series last month or not. If not, I was going to move this book to my October TBR. This series follows the sons and daughters of fallen angels, and we follow the main character named Hannah Witt, and she can feel and sense the emotions of others. Hannah has always been a good girl, but she's felt this inexplicable pull towards danger. Her angel side has always been able to balance the darkness within. That changes the day she meets Caden Rowe. Hannah feels drawn to him for some reason. He's everything that she should avoid. She still can't seem to pull herself away from him. This sounds like it could be an interesting paranormal romance, so I'm looking forward to getting to it this month. If I do enjoy Sweet Evil, I want to read the second book, called Sweet Peril, and also the third book, called Sweet Reckoning. After I finish the trilogy, there's also a companion book that is called Sweet Temptation. It follows the events of the first book, just from the boy's point of view. I'm looking forward to getting to this book as well. The next book I want to read is Born at Midnight by C.C. Hunter. This is the first book in another YA paranormal fantasy series. It follows this girl named Kylie Galen, who finds herself at the wrong party with the wrong people. Because of that, her mother ships her off to Shadow Falls. Shadow Falls is a camp for troubled teens. At Shadow Falls, vampires, werewolves, shapeshifters, and witches and fairies train side by side to learn about their powers and control their magic and live in the normal world. Kylie doesn't think she belongs with the rest of these paranormal freaks, but they assure her that she was brought here for a reason. Kylie meets this guy named Derek, who is a half-fae and determined to be her boyfriend. She also meets this guy named Lucas, who is a hot werewolf, and they share a secret past. So it seems Kylie gets in a love triangle with these two guys, and she has to pick who to be with. I love series that talk about different paranormal creatures in one book, so I think I'm really going to like this series. And I always love a good love triangle, if they're done well. So we'll see if I like this series. Hopefully I do. Next, I want to pick up The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. This is the first book in another YA paranormal fantasy series. I don't know much about his book other than it has to do with fae, and it definitely has a similar writing style and a similar feel to Rochelle Mead's Bloodline series, so hopefully I like this one. If I get tired of paranormal fantasy and just feel like reading some regular fantasy, maybe I'll pick up Defiance by C.J. Redwine. This is the first book in a YA fantasy trilogy, and it follows this girl named Rachel Adams. While other girls in the society sew dresses, Rachel Adams lives in the wilderness and learns to wield a sword. When Rachel's father fails to return from a courier mission and is found dead, Rachel wants to find out what happened to him. The city's commander assigns Rachel a new protector named Logan. Logan was her father's apprentice, and he's the boy that Rachel declared her love to years ago. He's also the boy that handed Rachel's heart right back to her. This sounds like it could be a really interesting fantasy, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. It also sounds like it might have a little dystopian in it as well. I'm definitely not going to finish all of the series this month if I do enjoy all of them, but I definitely wanted to give myself some options. Those are all the books that I want to read in October. If you want to see more videos from me, I'll put some videos up on the screen in case you guys want to check those out. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.